Pakistani doctor Shakil Afridi assisted U.S. efforts in tracking down Osama bin Laden and later was jailed for 23 years for alleged links to terrorist groups. Congress has in the past withheld aid to Pakistan to encourage the release of Afridi. What progress has been made on the effort, and what more can we do to aid this friend of the United States in his freedom? Should we look for any other possible restrictions on aid?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and let me say that we share your sense of outrage with regard to the plight of Dr. Afridi. I can assure you that we have raised this issue at the very highest levels of our government. It has been the subject of very direct conversations. We have requested the release of Dr. Afridi, and we continually request updates on his health and his status. So far, I have to say we have not those approaches have not yielded any results, but we will continue to raise them. There are already conditions, as you know, on assistance, and we make the point to our Pakistani colleagues that the very strong sentiment on Capitol Hill in particular, which is completely shared by the administration.
If they're listening today, I just want to tell them for the record that as I talk to different members about financial support, financial aid for Pakistan, it's the single biggest impediment to members wanting to be supportive. And if they're truly interested in furthering relations, strong relations with us, I would really hope that they take a second and a third and a fourth look at the incarceration of this man and look to his expedited release. One of the biggest drags on Pakistan's economy has long been corruption. In Transparency International's 2015 Corruption Perception Index, Pakistan ranked 117 out of 168 countries. Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif was one of the world leaders identified in the recently leaked Panama Papers. How is the United States assisting Pakistan in reducing corruption, and how do we ensure our own programs and activities do not suffer because of corruption within Pakistan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With regard to the question of the Panama Papers, we actually would not, the administration would not have any comment on these allegations that have surfaced. Globally, of course, we are in favor of greater financial transparency. With regard to corruption efforts in Pakistan, there have been I think an uptick in anti-corruption efforts, particularly in conjunction with some of the military operations that have been taking place in the settled areas of Pakistan. There was a strong anti-corruption drive in Karachi at the same time that there were operations to round up miscreants. These are primarily conducted by the National Accountability Bureau, and of course, as long as these investigations are done in accordance with due process, the U.S. government is supportive, and we do have some links with the National Accountability Bureau. I think I would probably defer to my colleague, Larry, if he had anything to say on the assistance piece.
Congressman, just to your specific question about how do we ensure this doesn't affect our programming, our programs are very aggressively monitored and overseen. We asked our own Inspector General, in fact, to create a hotline, and there is now the equivalent of a 1-800 number in Pakistan that implementing partners, suppliers, and even Pakistani citizens are encouraged to use. It was intended to use that hotline to report on our own programming, but it's become much broader. And this anti-corruption hotline is actually quite popular in Pakistan. So I'm reasonably confident that the programming we're doing is not just safeguarding our own programs, but it's serving as an example to the government and the governments within Pakistan as well.
Thanks. I'm out of time.